others are thriving, others are in regret, or at least what seems like regret. We speak about none other than Jovial, record-winning writer, musician, performer. She does it all, really. But she's speaking about co-parenting and her stance when it comes to co-parenting, and it is why it's one of those where you're like, yo, whoa, okay, what's going on there? According to her, she says that co-parenting is one of the most horrible experiences one can go through, and she continues to actually say that the reason why she feels it is so is because oftentimes you'll find that the two people who've broken up, the two parents involved, one parent is hoping that the other person comes back to them, like they get back in a relationship with them. And when it doesn't happen, it's met with a lot of bitterness, and it's met with a lot of hesitation of, I don't want to be part of this situation. And therefore they lash out at the child, as opposed to dealing with the rejection and still taking care of the child and being part of the child's life. Continue to actually say that it is a sad state when you're in that situation of bitterness and all of these things, and then you tell your close friends and family, and their response is like, girl, you're pregnant? Your body is going to change. Oh, this and this is going to happen to you. And it's just met with a lot of horrible stories about all the bad things that could happen to you, and now the people you are going to for solace are making you even more dubious of your decision and where you're at that moment in time. So she continues to actually say that anyone who is willing or wanting to have a child, you need not only to be physically prepared, but you need to be mentally prepared as well, and financially prepared, which is something we say here on the show many times. Spiritually, emotionally, financially, and more importantly, economically, and more importantly, mentally. Because like the way your brain needs to be ready, this child could literally be anything, and you have to embrace them. So are you prepared for any results, you know? What if your child is born with birth defects? What if like all of these scenarios? What if you have the perfect child? Then how are you going to deal with this? You know, like everything needs to be put into consideration, and then when you're mentally prepared, you can get into it. Let's assume this is a state wherein you're not, it's not like an oopsie situation, but still, even if it's an oopsie situation, at that moment you find out I'm pregnant, that's when you start to prepare. Like you start to prepare exactly then. What can I do? Who can I talk to? How will I take care of it? Like prepare so that you're not in a state of confusion or powerlessness when you actually do receive your bundle of joy. So I think Jovial's stance is very interesting. Yes, a lot of co-parenting situations are tragically horrible, but there are some stories which are also very, very good. So I think let's not all assume that the bad things will happen to you. Sometimes good things happen to you. So just have conversations with your partner or the person who you're having this child with, and try and find a semblance of a balance so that you can be able to take care of the child and put their best interests at heart.
True. But, you know, I feel like we've gotten to a place where more people are coming forward with their stories about co-parenting.
Yeah.
Yes, we like to highlight the very negative, the drama, the who's better, beat a baby daddy, beat a baby mama stories, but there are successful co-parenting situations.
Absolutely.
And I feel like we should give more platform and more light and more energy towards such situations, because that's what we want to see. At the end of the day, you're not hurting the other person, you're hurting your child. What do you mean? You think not allowing a man to see his child is hurting him? Men are just not that attached to their children.
Yeah.
It could be a thing of, that's my child, I want access to my child, and you feel like, oh, okay, he can live without this child. So it's just you setting up your child for disappointment, and you planting those seeds of hatred and bad narratives. It makes no sense. And it's just not mothers who plant those negative stories on their child. We have even seen dads who plant these stories on, you know, about their moms. What do you mean? Why would you call your ex-partner some derogatory names in front of your child? You're not hurting her, you're hurting your child. So let's just be mindful. Think about the children who did not ask to be in these situations.